haven't seen someone push so hard like that. You guys, this guy will show up at my door anytime he felt like, and when he's coming, he comes with his boys. It was so embarrassing. Man, I return every shit. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Jane. Thank you so much for tuning into today's story time. I think about 2 weeks ago, I just reshared a post that I saw on one blog like that, talking about, you know, all these narcissist men, something like that, talking about, you know, how she met a stalker and he was rude. My write-up was that I've been in such situation like that, and I promised that this year I wasn't going to hold, you know, such type of gist from you guys. I was going to bring those on my YouTube just for entertainment reasons. And yeah, I came with a glass of drink just so it can be juicy and get very cozy, you know, in here while I give you guys this gist. So if you're new and you're not subscribed, subscribe now, thumbs up the video already, and leave a comment at the end of it. To the main gist, I met this guy I think in October last year, and I met him in a friend's house. I was home on that day. I can't remember the date, of course. I was home that day and my friend called me. I was in the bathroom, so she kept calling non-stop, and you know, I didn't know what happened. I didn't even know who was calling me. So when I was done taking a shower, this was happening late at night, let's say 8 p.m. I finished taking my bath and I checked my phone, and she was the one calling me. Like, for her to have given me such amount of missed calls, I don't remember how many it was, but I felt something was happening. So I called back and a guy picked up the call and was like, just come now to your friend's house. She can't really talk and all that. So I guess it was an emergency, so I immediately zoomed off. I remember that day I was putting on a biker shorts and a big tee, and I had scarf over my head because of course it was urgent. I didn't have time to start taking care of my hair and all that, and I had, like, you know, glasses on just to look okay. And then I got to her apartment and she was at the lobby, her condo, and she was at the lobby, she was crying. You know, I already knew something was up, and we spoke, and all that. After about an hour or so, some guys came down, you know, in the same tower that she was staying, and he came down with, there were 2 guys, and then they were like, oh sorry, you know, just giving her their condolences and all that. And we're still out at that time, so they asked if she had eaten, and she said no, she hadn't eaten. They were nice actually, and she said no, she hadn't eaten. So they said they had food in their house, and you know, we should come to their apartment. So we went there, you know, people trying to be nice to you and all that. We went and they served us food, which we ate. And then one of the guy among them, which seemed like their boss basically, he you know, took liking to me, something like that, and he asked for my number, and he asked if I was single and all that. So I told him no, that there was someone in the picture at that time, and he said okay, you know, he said that won't be an issue. So he got my number. That was even after I had said no a couple times. And then I was like, okay, I could give you my number, and then you would call, and if I like, I could pick, I would don't pick, you know. So I gave him my number and we left to my friend's apartment. So after that, I think the next day, he asked me to come to his apartment because I ended up sleeping at my friend's, and then he asked me to come to his apartment, that he wanted us to talk. I was like, we could chat, whatever it is. So we started chatting, and you know, he just let me know that he liked me basically. And I was like, oh, but I have somebody. And he kept pushing. I haven't seen someone push so hard like that. And you know what, the next thing is, he offered to take us out the next day just so my friend could feel better. And she, to be honest, she needed it, so we agreed to, you know, hang out with him and his friends. He told us he was taking us out. And we asked, oh, where? He said Mall of Asia, and possibly later there's this nice African spot where they do like African dishes and all that. So we're like, no, we don't go to African, store. Like I said, he's going to buy and bring, to the house, and we could just stay there and just chill and eat. And then at the end of the day, we ended up not going to the Mall of Asia. He took us there. We were very comfortable. Like the place was even crowded. Someone was even having a birthday party there. Like very comfortable. So we went back home that day. You guys know I've been using my iPhone 6 for the longest time, and I think I've been using that for like 3 years or so. So like some dents and all that. He just got me a phone, and I'm like, why are you getting me a phone? Like a new phone for what? Like for what reason? And he said his reasons why, because he liked me and all that stuff, and then I was like, oh, sorry, I can't take it. Normally that's what you would do for someone who was in a relationship, right? And this guy kept pushing. He's that type of person that would just show up at your door without telling you he's coming and start knocking. And when he's coming, comes with his boys and knock. And he was so proud. Like he kept comparing me to the girl that he used to date, and saying, you guys have the same body type, you guys look the same, this, that, and he would brag even about things that were not true. I didn't know much about him. I didn't have anyone to ask about him. He kept on doing this thing until I had to put a stop to it. So one day I went to his apartment. I yelled at him. Of course, men like that don't like when you tell them such things in front of the other boys, and maybe he has been feeding them something different. I checked him, I checked the other guys, because at some point the other one was now texting my friend, telling her, your friend is misbehaving and taking my boss for granted or something like that. And I checked him. I said, if you message my friend again concerning, you're gonna have me to contend with or something like that. I was super rude, and then I left. I walked out. It was like shocker for them. Then and anytime we are talking, he tries to let down the boys. I mean, even if you're the one doing better, you don't have to let down the other guys. I don't have any interest in them. I have no business with them, so I don't see the need why you have to always bring them down. So that went on for a couple days, or I think about 2 weeks or so, and I checked him, and that was it. So one day he saw me at the club, and he felt it was right for him to walk up to me, to come talk to me like we're cool. I walked out. I felt like he was even being so authoritative to me just because he felt he bought me a phone or something. Man, I returned every shit. I returned everything. And he would call me. He feels like you should be available every second he call you. I'm like, you didn't buy me my phone. Anytime I decide to pick your call, I pick your call. If I decide to reply you, I reply you. And this went on for so long. We're like cat and dog for so long. And that post just reminded me about this guy, and I decided to share with you guys, because some of these people will be treating you like shit, and then he'll make comments like, one day you will need me, one day you come and beg me. I'm like, who does this one think he is, that me, I'll come and beg him? As in, well, that was it though. After a couple weeks of that encounter, we found out he was married with 2 kids on Instagram, and his wife, such a pretty lady, and doesn't deserve such animal as a husband. And I was like, wow, interesting. And he swore with his entire life that he was single and not married. But yeah, that's what happened. That's the story. I just wanted to gist you guys. Avoid stalkers like this, men like this. You guys, this guy would show up at my door anytime he felt like. It was so embarrassing. I got tired, honestly, and I had to block his ass. So feel free to be rude to these people sometimes, any day, anytime. And once you see any guy trying to be too authoritative and too possessive, that's a red flag. I find out he was married, just made everything so easy. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I just wanted to share with you guys. Subscribe to me if you're not subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.